Hello everybody, welcome to our Design and Technology lesson. Children in Year 1 and Year 2 last week were busy in their geography work learning about continents and oceans on our planet Earth. And here you've got a fantastic picture of a spaceship high above the world. Looking down, I think I can see an area of ocean here and an area of a continent, the land, over here. Wow. Today we're going to find out how to make a picture, a bit like this, move. A picture with a moving part. Okay. In today's lesson, here are the things you will need. You're going to need some paper, some white paper. If you've got some black paper as well, that would be good. But don't worry if you haven't. You might have to do a little bit more colouring or painting, okay? So you need a piece of white paper and a piece of black paper. You might also like to get, if you've got some tin foil or maybe some silver paper if you've got special art paper. A pair of scissors to use that your grown-up knows you're using. A straw. If you've got a straw in your house, that might be useful today. If not, you might want to cut a little strip of card from a box or some card that you've got at home. You're going to need something to stick the paper down in the tinfoil. So you might have a Pritt stick, a glue stick. You might use some tape to help you today. Some sellotape might be useful. And also some colours. Some of you might have coloured pencils. Some of you might like coloured felt tips. Some of you might have crayons. Some of you, I know, have got paints. So whichever colours you want to use, you can use them. You also might need something to draw around that's a circle shape. Maybe an old CD. Maybe you could draw around part of a sellotape circle. Okay, let's have a look at what we're going to make. Hopefully, at the end of this lesson, you will be making something a bit like this picture. So you can see the planet Earth here. You can see the moon, some beautiful stars in the night sky, in the black sky, in space, and a rocket. And that rocket later on will be moving. Okay, how do we do this? Let's have a look. The first thing to do is to draw part of a circle on your paper by drawing round either a CD or some sellotape round the circle, maybe a little saucer or a little plate in your house. Have a little look at this next picture. So you can see just here around this part, somebody has drawn round a part of it and they're going to use green from their colours to paint a little bit of it. Can you see this picture now? That gives you a bit of a clue. So here's where they drew round the circle. Here's where they drew a little bit of green for the continent, for the land. And now they're using blue to colour in a little bit of the ocean. So you can see it developing and getting a little bit more so that it looks like part of our world. And then, if you're careful, if you've got a black colour, you can just go around the outside of every piece of the land. That's a bit tricky. Maybe some of our older children would find that a bit easier. And if you're younger and you want to have a go, well, you can get a grown-up to help you with that bit. Okay, now carefully with your grown-up, so your grown-up knows that you're using scissors. With your scissors, you can cut out that shape and keep your world safe. Put it on one side and look after it. Next, I bet you can guess which bit we're making now. It's the rocket, isn't it? So whoever's made this, it wasn't me, it was another person. They drew a beautiful rocket shape. They've coloured bits of it in and they're cutting out the different parts. You might want to draw these bits straight onto your rocket. That's fine. If you want to do it that way, you can do. And the next job is to cut out those parts of the rocket very carefully. No accidents. This is where you might need some glue. So the person that's making this one decided to cut out a separate bit of fire that comes down here and the separate wings on the rocket. So they've got to stick them in place. And then you need your straw, or you need to use that strip of card from a box, and you need to tape it with some sellotape to the back of your rocket. Not on the front. Make sure the straw goes on the back of your rocket. So now you can see the colourful side of the rocket and you can see the straw behind, and they've put it on some black paper. If you haven't got black paper, on some white paper you can paint or colour space, a black sky. Okay, the next job is to get your world, get the earth, and stick it carefully in one corner of your paper. Now onto the stars. So on the back of some shiny paper or on some tin foil, try and draw some stars. They're a bit pointy, aren't they? You can also draw a beautiful circle shape for a moon. This is very tricky because the stars have got pointy bits and the cutting out is difficult. So if you need an adult to help you, that's fine. Next, stick on your beautiful silvery moon. And then, can you see, draw a little curved line. This is where your rocket is going to move. So it comes from the world, through space, to the moon. If it's a little bit straighter than this, that's fine. If you would prefer to do a straight line, that's okay too. Now, this lady has got a special tool to do her cutting, but you don't need it. You can use scissors just as well to cut out that line, okay? Be careful. Again, a grown-up with you, or if the grown-up needs to do this bit for you, that's okay. Stick on the stars. And then you can put your straw through the line and you can move your rocket through space. Ta-da! The challenge is, maybe you can make a moving picture to show Superman flying around the world. There he goes. If you follow this link here, you can see a video of that same lady making her picture. Please remember, ask your grown-up to be with you before you start cutting out, and take care. We can't wait to see some of your photos from home of the work that you're doing. Okay, bye for now.